Hi everyone, Mary here. We're going to do our yoga class today, so I hope you have some fun with it. We're going to do some stability and balance with this today, so along with a little bit of strength and flexibility. So let's get started. All you're going to need is a mat. If you feel unstable, if you're balancing, you might have a pretty sturdy chair next to you, or maybe a wall that you can place one or two fingers on to kind of help with your balance. That will work as well. Anytime you need to take a break, pause this video, jump right back in when you feel ready again. All right, so here we go. Let's get onto the mat. We're going to first start seated on the mat. And from here, we're just going to start getting into some deep breaths. So kind of wiggle around a little bit, kind of get settled in, maybe roll the shoulders up and back a couple times, and then start taking some deep breaths in through your nose, out through the mouth. Maybe let your sigh go as you breathe out. Kind of let go of everything that's been going on so far through your day, maybe your week. Just kind of use it to empty your mind. Create some space in your mind so that you can just come into space for yourself, space for your breath. And when you feel like you've gotten rid of all that whatever is inside of you, let's just bring the breath in and out through the nose. As you exhale through your nose, try to feel the whole body just release a little bit more, get a little bit more soft. Maybe across your face, maybe the back of the neck or your shoulders, maybe even into your hips. And let's take one more slow, deep breath in. Slowly exhale through your nose. All right, we're going to come down to the spine, so if you need to move a little bit to get that going, feel free to do so. I'm going to turn this direction and come on down to my back. So hands underneath your legs, so you can keep your arms out in front. Just curve your spine, chin to your chest, and as you come down, nice and easy, let's go to a full body stretch. Reach your arms out past your head. Reach your legs out long. I'm a little bit off screen here, but you get the idea. Go ahead and take some nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. Let your belly rise on your inhale. Stretch your body long. As you exhale, just relax your legs, relax your arms, relax your face. Two more just like that. Inhale, stretch through the fingers and the toes. Exhale, release, let it all go. And one more time. Inhale through your nose. Long stretch, long reach, and exhale through your nose or your mouth. And let's bring the arms back to the sides, work the feet in so we can bend them in. Let's bring one knee at a time into the chest, little rock side to side. We're first going to relax through the back a little bit, so you can stay here or you can take your knees in a circle one direction and then the other. Come back to deepening your breath as you do so. And then we're going to take the right foot down, keep the left knee in. We're going to extend that right leg if that feels good for you. We're going to keep that foot relaxed so you can point or flex or somewhere in between. The left knee, we're going to have the hands on the shin. Bring it a little bit to the outside of your ribs. So not straight in towards your body, towards your chest, but a little bit to the outside. Make it where it's comfortable for you to bring that knee in. And then maybe a little rock of the knee, a little side to side, or maybe you rock a little bit through your hips. Just depends how your body likes to operate. Kind of loosen things up in there a little bit. Then we're going to take the leg a little bit more straight. We're going to put the hands behind the thigh onto the hamstrings. You can link your fingers together back there if that works better for you. And we're going to flex the foot and bend the knee in. And then we're going to point the foot and straighten the leg out. So you might need to go a little bit lower depending where your flexibility is. Flex your foot, knee to chest, and extend out. So take a breath in. Exhale, hug the knee in. Inhale out, exhale in. Two more. Inhale out, exhale in. One more time. Inhaling out, exhale in. Good. Keep that leg hugged in. Take a little bit across the body, a little stretch. So your hip might come up a little bit or a lot. Just depends where you feel the stretch in your body this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are in your day. And then you can bring it across a little bit more if that feels good. We're going to add the stretch of the chest and the shoulder. So the arm goes out to the side. Your palm can be up or it can be turned down. And just kind of work a little bit, little rocking motion into that little stretch there. Eye gaze is going off to those fingertips. And again, you don't want to have too much of a stretch, just enough you can kind of feel things work themselves out. A little bit of rocking is okay. You just don't want to go huge motions one way and the other, but that rocking is kind of soothing to the muscles. But you can certainly just hold it still if that feels better for you too. So another deep breath in through your nose, out through the nose. And one more time, deep breath in, slow breath out. And bring it all the way back into center. Nice little hug in. We're going to take that foot to the floor and bend your other knee. We're going to take both knees into the chest. We're going to keep working that left leg. So the right leg is going to go out. So it can be up to the ceiling or a little bit lower to the floor or all the way down to the floor. Wherever you feel some work for your abs, we're going to wake them up a little bit here. So you can keep the hands on the shin. Actually, kind of place them underneath your knee there a little bit. Elbows are going to stay wide. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the floor. If that doesn't work for you, keep your head, neck, and shoulders down. We're going to switch the legs. We're going to extend the other leg out. The other knee comes into the chest. Again, hands underneath that knee, and extend out and again. So again, if it feels better, keep the head, neck, and shoulders on the floor. Keep that low rib pressed down to the floor. If you want to extend your legs out a little bit lower to the floor, you can go low, low, low. Or you can go a little bit in between, wherever it feels good for your body. But keep that low back in place. Try not to feel that low back lift up and down. And we'll do a couple more. Keep the back of the neck nice and long, especially if your head's on the floor. And then we'll bring both knees to the chest. A little rock side to side. Circle your knees one direction. Breathe in. Exhale, circle the knees the other direction. We're going to do the other leg. So the right knee stays in, the left foot to the floor, and if it's okay, extend that leg all the way out, either a point or a flex of that foot to keep it comfortable. So the other knee, we're just going to hug in, remember, to the outside of the ribs so you feel a little bit more flexibility, stretch there. Again, if it feels better, bring the knee straight into your chest. You can do that too, but we're just trying to work through how that hip joint feels, how your glute muscles, those are your buttocks muscles, how those are feeling. A little bit side to side. And now let's take the leg across. So the hand goes across and that hip's going to lift up a little bit or a lot. You decide where you need to go. Try to keep that right shoulder on the floor. The right arm extends out behind you. You can have the palm down or the palm up. Take your eye gaze towards those fingers. So I'm going to turn away. Keep doing a little rock into the hips, maybe into that low back. Feel that stretch. Again, kind of search out what feels good for you. Maybe you need to bring your knee a little bit closer towards your chest. Maybe the knee needs to go further away, just wherever it feels good, again, for your body. Let's take 2 more slow breaths in and out through the nose. And then release slowly back to the center. Hug that knee in a little bit more if that feels a little bit better, hopefully. And then the hands underneath that knee. We're going to bring the other knee into the chest. All right. Oh, I forgot. We got to do that stretch. Let's take that right leg up. Flex the foot. Bring that knee to the outside of your chest. Inhale, extend your leg, point through your foot. So the other knee, if you want to bend it, you can. Sometimes that's easier when you're trying to stretch the opposite leg. If you go with a straight leg, it's a little bit more intense of a stretch. So just see what feels good for you and go with that option. So we're going to do about 3 more of these. Hopefully feel the back side of that leg opening up, the hip, the glute muscle. And we'll do 1 more. Breathe as you move. Now we're ready for both knees to come to the chest. All right, so now we're going to keep that right knee in. The left leg extends out. So this is where we're going to keep the elbows wide. We're going to switch the other knee into the chest. And this is where you can start extending that leg a little bit further away from the body, maybe as low as the floor. Again, it's really up to you. As long as that low back stays in the same place, it's going to have that natural curve to it. We don't want the curve to go up and down, up and down. We want to keep the same place. Keep pressing your low ribs to the floor, though. That's going to be nice for the abdominal stability. Again, head, neck, and shoulders can come off the floor. Sometimes one little trick to feel this, if you want to feel like you're getting a little bit higher, feel like your ribs are shifting down to your hips. So you take out the feel of the chest coming up. It's more of the ribs shifting down. You're going to engage your core a little bit differently. And maybe that's going to feel a little bit better as far as what you're trying to accomplish. So we're going to go 2 more times here. Keep breathing every time you move. And your last one. If the head's lifted, head to the floor, knees to the chest, little rock side to side. Circle the knees one way, take an inhale through your nose. Exhale, circle the other way. Awesome. We're going to roll up, so hands on your legs. Now your option is to roll to your side and then sit up, but if you want to do it this direction, just hands on your legs. Help rock yourself up. All right, turn and face either direction if you like. We're going to cross the legs, do a little stretch through the hips. So hands are going to come on the floor, reach forward, nice and long. We're going to take 2 deep inhales here. And walk your hands back into you. Hands behind you. Take your lower rib up to the sky. Nice stretch up, kind of reversing what we just did. Take another deep inhale through your nose. Inhale through, or exhale through your nose, and come upright. We're going to bring the knees up. See if you can keep your feet off the floor as you switch them. And back down. That's just tricking the core into a little more work. All right, hands in front. Reach them forward. A little side to side work there. Head can really go down to the floor. Feel the back of the neck stretch. Take 1 more deep breath in and out through your nose. And then walk your hands back in. Awesome. Let's pick our knees up. Oh, we got to go back, don't we? Let's reach up and back. Nice stretch. All right. Now we're going to bring those knees up and over. All fours position. We're going to hover the knees above the floor. So your hands are right below the shoulders. The knees are right below the hips. And we're going to tuck the toes under. Use your core to lift your knees up. Now you can stay right here and do your best to stay right there, but you can also work it a little bit. You can take your right foot out and tap and bring it back in. Left foot to the other side, tap it back in. So again, we're creating some stability here, keeping the shoulders lifted away from the wrists. We're also creating a little bit of balance because you've got to pick one foot up and balance on the one foot. We're going to go one more time. Now let's take the leg back. You're still hovering your knees above the floor. See how well you can do this. I know it's kind of tough, just jumping you right into this, but I think you can do at least one. Stay strong. We're going to do one more step back with each leg. Hold it here and breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Rest your knees down. If you need a little break, your knees go apart into child's pose. Arms stretch forward, 2 deep inhale, exhales. If you're ready to press up and back into down dog, that looks like this. You can go into your down dog. So I'm going to stay here in down dog. Let's all take one more deep breath in and out. All right, if you're in child's pose, come back up to all fours. So you're going to be in all fours. And then you're going to bring your knees together under your hips. Tuck under your toes, hips up and back, and we're all in down dog. Let's do a little heel lift and lower. See how the back of the legs feel. Certainly you can keep your knees a little bit bent. Now some days have a lot more flexibility than others in my calves. So today I'm getting pretty close to my heels touching the mat. Yours may not, and that's quite all right. You just want to feel the stretch. That's what your goal is. Feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Let's take one more breath in, lift. Exhale, release down. Eye gaze forward, walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Let's take the feet about shoulder width apart where you feel pretty stable. Let's interlace the hands to opposite elbows and just let yourself hang forward. Put a good knee bend into this. Maybe your chest is resting on your thighs. So a little sway side to side. Breathe into your side ribs. Take one more deep breath. Relax through your neck. Gently shake your head yes and then no and then yes. And as you exhale, release your hands down to your shins. We're going to keep the core strong and engaged as we walk the hands up the front of the legs. Good support for the spine. We're going to keep the head the last to come up. So when you're in the up position, your head is forward, chin to chest. Roll your shoulders up and back, and then slowly bring your head up on top. That will help keep you from feeling dizzy when you come up from a forward fold. Let's bring our feet back together, almost under the hip area there. Arms out, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Hands are coming to the shins. Half lift up to a flat back. You might need to bend your knees. That's quite all right, but get your back as flat as you can. And then forward fold, hands to the floor. Bend your knees so you can reach. Right foot steps back and turn it flat. Windmill up into warrior two. We're going to go into reverse warrior, so the front palm is reaching up and forward. Hold it here. We're going to feel some stretch going on into the legs first. So you should be able to see your big toe on the inside of your front knee. You should be pressing into the outside of your back foot, pressing through both heels. Squeeze your legs together, and we're still in this kind of forward angle position. So now we're going to lift that arm in front up to the sky. Back hand is resting light on your back leg, or it's across your belly. Eye gaze is light onto the top fingertips. You can also bring your bottom arm behind, wrap it around maybe. We're going to take 2 more deep breaths in and out through your nose. You're still keeping that front knee bent, but you feel that front leg bone really sinking into the hip socket. And on your next exhale, release back out to warrior two, arms. Side angle. So now we're going to come into the front arm across the front leg. The back arm, we're going to sweep it to the floor first, and then bring it up to the bicep to the ear. Nice deep breath. Roll that shoulder open. We're going to do that again, but first bend that right elbow. Extend your arm down, and then along the floor and back up, bicep to your ear. We're going to do 2 more of those. Bend your elbow. It's just a little bit better for the shoulder if you bend that elbow, because going that direction for the arm for some people just doesn't work. And hold it here. Again, roll the shoulder open if it started to close a little bit on you. Take another deep breath in and out. And now let's press all the way back up to warrior two, arms. And bring your front knee in for triangle. So with triangle, we're going to keep the front knee a slight bend so we don't hyperextend it. We're going to take our hips back. So as you go back, you're already bringing that inner thigh back towards you. So the hips, these are your hips, here's your spine. It all stays connected, perpendicular to each other. Reaching out long through those front fingers, and then switch your arms. So this pose is about keeping your top shoulder and hip rolled back, your bottom hip rolled forward. So if you were against a wall, if your back was against the wall, you would be very flat against it instead of rolling forward to try to get lower. Our goal is not to get lower. Our goal is to feel the roll back of the shoulder and the hip. Let's take 1 more deep breath. As we exhale, bring your body back upright, soften that front knee, warrior two. Let's windmill the hands to the floor, and front leg goes back into down dog. Let's inhale the heels up, exhale heels down. 1 more time, inhale heels up, exhale heels down. Eye gaze forward, walk your feet to your hands to forward fold. Hands to your shins, half lift up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Let's walk the hands up the legs to standing mountain pose. The head is the last to come to the top. Take a moment here. Take a nice inhale, exhale. Arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to your heart center. And forward fold. Take your left foot back, turn it flat. And we're going into warrior two. So we're going to windmill the arms up. I'm going to have my back to you on this side here. So again, we want to be sure we can see that big toe on the inside of that front knee as we turn the front palm up and reach forward. So we're going to hang out right here for a moment, building strength in that front leg. You want to keep that front leg bone inserted into the hip socket itself. Both heels are pressed down and squeezing together, so the legs are staying very active in this posture. Let's take another breath. Exhale out. And let's go up and back. Reverse warrior. And now again, the back hand is light on the back leg. It can be in front of your belly. It can be behind your back and wrapped around. Eye gaze very light onto those top fingertips. Still feel the work in the front leg. Sometimes our front knee comes in. We got to take it back out sometimes. Let's take 2 more slow, deep inhale, exhales. Sometimes the challenge is just staying in the pose a little bit longer, working the strength. And on your next exhale, back out to warrior two, arms. Going into side angle. So the front arm across the front leg, Your left hand comes to the left shoulder and extends forward. And again, we're going to start rotating that arm around. So bring your elbow down, circle the arm around to the floor, and then back up, bicep to the ear. And 3 more of those. Remember to keep the legs engaged. Press your heels down, squeeze your heels together. Feels a little bit different depending where the torso is. Some is more challenging than other positions. It's all good work for the whole body. All right, let's hold it here. Let's roll open that top shoulder. Maybe look up. You can certainly look down or look in front of you. Take another deep breath in and out. And let's bring the top arm up. And here we go back to warrior 2 arms. So front knee comes in. We're going to keep a slight micro bend in that front knee for triangle. Remember, you got the perpendicular body, the hips and the spine. So we're going to drop the front hip, keep the spine in line with the hips, reach forward as far as you can, and then we're going to switch the arms. Your eye gaze up or down. You want a straight line from the top hand down to the bottom hand. Again, the micro bend is in that front knee. You want to feel the bottom hip roll forward, your top shoulder, your back hip rolling back. So you have this kind of a rotation in the body. The spine is nice and flat. Shoulders and your buttocks would be flat against the wall if you did this against a wall. So if you do have a wall that's big enough that you can do this against, try it there. See how that works. Let's take 1 more breath. Stay your exhale. Let's inhale, come back up. Soften the front knee back into warrior 2. And windmill the hands to the floor. Front leg goes back, down dog. Inhale your heels up. Exhale your heels down. Press forward to high plank. Your options to stay here in high plank, or you can come down to your knees. But make sure you have your hips pretty low. You can also come to your forearms. And if you're on your forearms, you can stay on the knees, or you can take the knees away from the floor. And I'm going to stay here for a low plank. We're going to stay here for about 30 seconds. Keep the tailbone tucked under. Feel as though the front of the ribs and the hips are trying to squeeze together in front, squeezing towards the belly button. Keep strong, pressing your shoulders away from your elbows if you're on your forearms, or your shoulders pressing away from your wrists if you have straight arms. You just want to keep challenging yourself in these postures because you'll get stronger that way. Creating some stability here. Breathe to your side ribs. Keep your eye gaze a little bit in front of your wrists. And you stay 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 2, 1, and release your knees to the floor. We're going to shift back into child's pose. Well-deserved rest. Knees wide, arms stretched out in front, forehead resting on the floor. Take a deep breath in and out. Let go of everything we just built up inside. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, release. Come back up to that same position. So we want to have our hips a little bit forward of the knees. This is really the best way to get into your down dog. So toes are tucked under, hips up and back. Pedal out your heels. See how you feel in the back of the legs here. We're going to go into a little bit of a quadricep stretch. So for this one, if you're in down dog and you feel comfortable with 3-legged dog, you'll lift your right leg up, bend your right knee and stay there, or you can rotate it over. If that doesn't work for your body, we have an option also. Come down to your knees. So now you do want your hands under your shoulders, so you're in all fours. Right leg goes back and bring that knee up, and then rotate that right hip up. So either direction, either with your down dog position or all fours. 3-legged dog. Take another breath. Exhale, release it back to the center and your knee or your foot to the floor, whichever one you're doing. We're going to do the other side. So I'm going to start on all fours and then I'll end up in the down dog option. All right, so the left leg is going to lift up, left knee bends, left hip rotates up, and see how you do with the rotation here. So we're getting into the rotation of the spine, as well as bringing the heel towards the buttocks to get the quadricep, the top of the thigh, to get the stretch. So again, if you're in your down dog, again, same thing, rotation. Bring that heel towards the buttocks. We're going to take 1 more breath wherever you are. Exhale, release, foot to the floor. If you're on all fours, I want you to come up to where you're in down dog. And then we're going to walk the feet to the hands to forward fold at the top of the mat. Hands to your shins, half lift up, flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold. Let's step the right foot back, stay on the ball of the foot, and take it about hip distance apart. So if you started about hip distance, take that leg straight back. You might want to go a little wider. We're going to press into that back leg, coming up into Crescent Pose. Your back thigh is going to engage and lift up. We're going to take the arms up, breathe in. Hands face front, fingers are wide, elbows out to the sides, breathe out. Inhale, elbows go back. Elbows to the front as you breathe in or breathe out. Inhale, elbows out. Elbows come to the front, exhale. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Arms out to the sides and to your low back. You can link your thumbs or you can link your fingers together. Hinge forward, arms up to the sky. Get that nice strong stretch going there. Keep your head lifted. So instead of looking down at your toes, look about 2 feet in front of your toes. We're going to practice our little balance on this side. So we're going to do a little push off the back foot. This is the tougher of the versions here because you don't release your arms. You can always release those hands out to the sides, feel your balance, move that back foot up. And maybe this is where your balance is, toes touching the floor. Or maybe the toes hover above the floor. You decide where you want to go with this. If you lift your leg, your right foot's going to be flexed, your right leg's lifted, right leg flexed. Keep the right hip a little bit down, try not to let it roll up. We're going to stay another 3, breathing, 2, and 1. Light it back down. Back into our Crescent Pose. Release those hands, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center to the floors. Back foot forward, forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift up, flat back. Inhale deeply. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot steps back. Keep it about hip distance apart. Inhale, coming up. Again, you want to engage the back of your back leg, the hamstring. Engage. Lift that leg up to the sky. Hands face front, fingers wide, elbows out to the sides. Inhale, bring the elbows back. Exhale, elbows forward. They may or may not touch, it's up to you. Inhale, open. Eye gaze a little bit more upwards. Exhale, elbows together. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it together. And let's release the arms out. We're going to bring them behind, again, either on the low back, thumbs or fingers linked, hinge forward. Let's feel our stretch here first. Nice long spine. Again, eye gaze about 2 feet in front of your toes. It's not too often we look directly down at our feet in this posture. Is your back leg lifted as far as that back thigh goes? Keep it engaged. We're getting ready for that balance pose. So here we go. Gently float off that back foot. Straighten your front leg a little bit. Maybe keep the toes in contact with your mat. Or if you lift that leg, you're going to keep the foot flexed. Hinge forward a little bit more if that feels good. Feel where your balance is here today. You can always release those arms out to the sides for easier balance. That's really the best place for you to help find your balance. You're going to stay here. Keep breathing for 3, 2, and last one. Let's float that left leg back. Light touch on the floor. Arms up, breathe in. Hands to heart center and to the floor. Back foot steps forward, forward fold. Hands to your shins, half lift up, flat back. Exhale, chair pose. Arms around and up. Hands to your heart center. So you want to keep your abs engaged, the tailbone slightly tucked under. Extend your arms out in front. Follow your right hand with your eyes. Reach back around. So it's a little bit of a twist. I'm going to step back a little bit here. There we go. Long stretch through the fingertips. Come back to the center. Take an inhale. Exhale. Left hand travels back. Eyes following those left fingers. Feel the rotation in the spine, the work of the oblique muscles. Back to the center. Hands to your heart center. Alternate one heel up and then the other. You can continue with this, or if you want to lift both heels a little bit or a lot, you can. Maybe your arms need to go out to the sides for better balance. You can bring those heels way up. Again, you can take them a little lower, or just continue alternating one heel than the other. Keep breathing for 3, 2, last one. All the heels go down. Hands to heart center, forward fold. Hands to your shins, half lift up. Nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the floor, step back, both feet. Press back into a down dog. And then come to your all fours. We're going to have a seat so you can lay down. I want your head to fit on the mat. So hands underneath your legs are out in front. Tuck under your tailbone, chin to chest, curl the spine all the way down. And we're going to bring the knees into the chest, extend your legs up. Go as straight as you can. We're going to take the hands. We're going to try to walk up and reach to the opposite ankle or opposite foot, just to work a little bit more through those core muscles. As you reach up, exhale, inhale as you return back down. We're going to continue on. We're not taking a break, but if you need a break, you can take a break. We're going to go into that slow bicycle. So we're going to take the fingers by the ears, bend the knees in, right leg goes out, right rib to the left knee, come back to center and switch other side. So I'm saying rib to hip because we want to try to keep those elbows as wide as we can. We want to work through the oblique muscles. Exhale, over. Inhale when you come back to the center. Exhale, twist. And these are full exhalations. The deeper you can get into that exhale, exhaling through your mouth on these, the more you're going to engage those muscles we're targeting, obliques. We're going to go one more time each side. And then come back to the center, release your head down, knees a little bit side to side. Hands underneath your hips, everybody. Take your legs up, squeeze those legs together, heels touch, and feet are turned out just a little bit to like 11 and 1 o'clock. Lower the legs, hold it there and breathe. If you can, lower them down a little more. If not, just keep them where they were. Now we're going to take them 2 inches off the floor, stay there, or lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the floor. Oops, I'm not all the way down. There you go. 4, breathe, 3, 2, and 1, release down. One leg at a time, bends in. I'm going to take the knees up one more time, extend your legs, squeeze those legs together, heels touch. Lower down about a third of the way. Keep squeezing those inner thighs together. That's very key on this exercise. Stay here or lower down a little bit more. Keep pressing down. The low rib, lengthen the low back, lengthen out through your tailbone towards the feet. And then lower down 2 inches away from the floor. Head, neck, shoulders off the floor. If you want to go there, breathe for 3, 2, and release down. Awesome. One knee at a time, bends and comes in, going into bridge. Bring your feet in as close as you can get them. They're about hip distance apart. Hands are going to be out to the side. So you're going to press into your arms, press your shoulders down, breathe in. Keep your nose pointed up as you exhale, lift your hips, press into your heels, squeeze your buttocks. Now I want you to feel your upper back muscles lifting, and you're going to notice your chest lift up a little bit more. So work those upper back muscles to lift. Relax your neck, relax your head. Stay here or alternate. You're going to keep the ball of the foot on the floor, but lift the heel, and then the heel lowers down. Other heel lifts and then lowers. Keep your ball of the foot, your toes in contact with the mat. Keep your nose pointing straight up towards the sky. If you're okay with alternating, stay with that. If you want to lift both heels up same time, you can do that too. So as you're doing that, we want to keep the core engaged. We want to keep squeezing the upper back muscles to lift the chest up. We're going to go for 4, and I'm just counting. You don't have to do this many reps. 3, 2, hold this one up. Little pulses now. Pulse up and down 1 inch. Up and down, up and down. Keep the neck relaxed. Press your arms into the floor. Keep pulsing for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Release all the way down to the floor, 1 knee at a time to the chest. Nice hug in. We're done. Little rock side to side. Circle your knees one direction. Inhale. Exhale, circle your knees the other way. All right, feet to the floor, knees wide, so we get a little stretch into the inner thighs. And you're welcome to stay here. If you prefer to go into a happy baby pose, you can go there. If you like to go straddle, you can straighten out your legs and go into that straddle. You are welcome to stay here for Shavasana, but you can also straighten out the legs if you feel better that way for Shavasana with the arms out to the sides. So I'm going to stay here with my feet together, knees out to the sides. Let's everybody take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth and let go. Let go of that tension that we've just built up during these last few moments. And then as you breathe, when you feel ready, just breathe in and out through your nose. Let your body get heavy with every exhale, releasing out everything that you don't want to hold inside. Using your breath to bring in some energy, some good oxygen, replenishing the cells of your body with every breath in. Feel the lightness of the body, the weightlessness, maybe some joyfulness, peacefulness. See if you can feel the tingling in the body. Maybe you can feel the heartbeat in your chest. Maybe feel your heart pulsating down into your fingertips. You can bring your thumb and index finger together. Gently press them together. Maybe then you can feel that heartbeat if you could not feel it before. Putting a smile on your face. Being in the present moment. And staying in contact with what we are feeling right now, let's bring awareness to the whole body. Gently wiggle fingertips and toes, and maybe move your arms, your legs. If your legs are still in the reclined butterfly, hands to the outside of the thighs to help bring those knees back together. Take your feet a little bit wider, knees together. Maybe bring one knee across the midline and the other. A little rock through the hips, the low back. Just kind of let them relax a little bit. And then when you feel ready, roll over to one side. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can keep your eyes closed or you can open the eyes. Let your spine grow tall. Release your shoulders down from the ears. Back of the neck is nice and long. And again, just kind of reconnecting with how you feel. And anytime throughout the day you're feeling like the day is getting the better of you, just take a minute and slow down the breath. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. Just take our hands to the sides as we inhale. Open the eyes. Palms together to the heart as we breathe out. And again, hands to the sides. Lifting, gathering energy, life, and goodness. And as we exhale, bringing all these good things to our hearts. That's our class. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you next time.